Usually sons of a monarch are given royal duke titles, and Edward, the youngest child of Queen Elizabeth II, was apparently set up to be the Duke of Cambridge or even the Duke of Sussex. However, he decided he wanted to go in another direction, and now those titles have been bestowed on Prince William and Prince Harry respectively. Edward reportedly asked the Queen to be named after a character called Lord Wessex in his favorite film, the 1998 comedy drama Shakespeare in Love. The film depicts an imaginary love affair between William Shakespeare, played by Joseph Fiennes, and Viola de Lesseps, played by Gwyneth Paltrow, while the playwright was scribing Romeo and Juliet. Several of the characters are based on historical figures, and many of the characters, lines, and plot devices allude to Shakespeare's numerous plays. A royal insider told The Telegraph in 2010 why Edward chose that name, explaining, "He liked the sound of it and asked the Queen if he could have that instead." The Queen agreed to give him the Wessex title, but he could not be a duke as there is no such dukedom or even a region known as Wessex in the modern UK. Wessex was one of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms before the country unified in the 10th century. Winchester is in Wessex, where the English capital resided for some time, before it was moved to London. Instead, Edward was given the title Earl of Wessex, the first time since Tudor times that the child of a monarch has been made an earl instead of duke on marriage, according to etiquette experts de Bretz. Edward's wife Sophie is known as the Countess of Wessex, and their two children, while entitled to HRH Prince or Princess titles, have been styled as children of an earl. In court documents they are known as Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn, one of Edward's subsidiary titles. This makes Louise, 15, and James, 11 the Queen's first male line descendants not to have royal titles. This is despite the fact they are reportedly her favorite grandchildren. A royal source told The Sun earlier this year, "The Queen loves the fact that Louis and James relish their time at Balmoral, and she has become particularly close to Louise, who seems to have become her favorite grandchild, closely followed by James." Louise also endeared herself to everyone by looking after William and Kate's children when they were up here. Louise and James are the first to be allowed the proper use of the Mountbatten-Windsor family name in accordance with Her Majesty's 1960 Order and Council. However, there is also another reason why Edward may have snubbed the Duke title. It is believed he will be the next Duke of Edinburgh when Prince Philip dies. The Earl has been taking an increasingly active role with the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme in recent years and is poised to take over patronage of the nearly 800 organizations his 98-year-old father looks after. A royal source told The Times in 2015, "The Duke of Edinburgh's award is very much Prince Edward's thing. This is a big part of what he does, because he will be the next Duke of Edinburgh. When Philip dies, the title technically goes back to the crown, so either the Queen or Prince Charles, when he succeeds her, would need to reissue the title back to Edward." Prince Philip recently had a bit of a wobble, a royal source told The Sun, and is currently staying at Sandringham away from the Queen. They said, he spends most of his time reading and pottering about. Until recently he has been very active, carriage riding, fishing at Balmoral and driving around royal estates, although he no longer drives on public roads following his crash in January. According to royal expert Ingrid Seward, he is not in the best health, sparking fears the Queen's husband is feeling fragile.